viewers, on to now the top story, this bulletin. Now, at the Munich Security Conference, China's top diplomat Wang Yi has warned the United States against plotting on Taiwan, stating it could lead to a confrontation between the two countries. Wang emphasized that any attempt to split China through Taiwan would cross a red line. He urged Washington to adopt a positive and pragmatic approach while making it clear that China is prepared to handle various risks. Taiwan remains a major point of tension, with China claiming the island as its own territory, while the US continues to be Taiwan's key military supporter. Andrew K.P. Leong, China strategist from Hong Kong, joins me in this discussion. Mr. Leong, thanks very much. It's good to have you for this discussion. Firstly, Wang has now gone on to issue a clear warning, but is China fully aware how much the US needs Taiwan for technical assistance and support, and the technical capabilities that it offers to the US?
Well, I think the Beijing has made its position known umpteen times on Taiwan. Let's not forget that Taiwan is not, repeat, not, N-O-T, not recognized as a nation by the United Nations, nor is it recognized as such by the majority of the countries in the United Nations, except a handful, literally a handful of very small states. Taiwan had always been part of China, dating back to the Ming Dynasty and even earlier. At that time, the Ming government already stationed troops there with the admiral there. So I think there is no dispute that Taiwan had always been part of China. However, Taiwan is now a separate territory. And after the defeat of the Kuomintang in China following the Civil War, and under the American policy, the Taiwan relations is governed by the Taiwan Relations Act, which was enacted decades ago in the United States. This act empowers the American administration to continue to supply arms to Taiwan to defend itself. Also, does not encourage the use of force to change the status quo, but also let the Taiwan question to be resolved by both sides. But on the other hand, in recent decades, the Trump administration has been increasingly supplying more and more arms to Taiwan, turning Taiwan into a porcupine, a military porcupine, with the view of deterring China's coercion or deterrence, but also allying with its military allies like Japan and South Korea and in the Quad, including India and Australia, and the so-called AUKUS submarine nuclear submarine deal. All and then deploying assets in the first island chain center in Okinawa, the second island chain center in Guam, to contain China, but also to deter any kind of military action on Taiwan. Now, here is the rub, because in spite of the fact that President Xi did mention 2027, this was only a date to get the PRA ready to achieve insurmountable deterrence against any kind of unilateral declaration of independence. It's not, repeat, not a day for military action, because the priority for Beijing is still peaceful unification. How is that going to be achieved? By three strategies. The first strategy is, of course, military deterrence. The second strategy is economic and diplomatic isolation. Only a very handful small countries recognize Taiwan, and of course, the Taiwan economy depends on the Chinese mainland to a very large extent. Third, last but not least, the two peoples are increasingly visiting each other, and then lots of Taiwanese are establishing the businesses on the mainland, and lots of business opportunities, and also even films produced in Beijing feature Taiwanese actors and actresses and directors. So increasingly, the momentum is set to push the Taiwan towards the negotiation table under a formula maybe even more generous than for Hong Kong and Macau. And that's the preference. But on the other hand, the United States is arming Taiwan to the teeth, turning Taiwan into a concubine, and leads itself to supporting the kind of independence movement characterized by its current Taiwan leader. And these are the dynamics involved.
Mr. Leong, thanks very much for that comprehensive response. To stay on, let's also talk about what China said on Europe now. Viewers, China's foreign minister Wang Yi also called on Europe to stop being a spectator